It could be like a work warrior.
Yeah.
Which, so what does that mean to you guys? Please let us know.
Work.
They come here with the mindset. Like that's the ultimately that's the mindset that they come to this country with, is that they're gonna work. There's opportunities for them to work.
They enjoy, because that was the fete every weekend. That was their after the work 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
The fete that was their, what is it? That's their self-care.
Yeah.
Sakafet, welcome to Unfiltered Liming Podcast. Join us as we reflect on our personal journeys and share our insights, experiences, and stories. From food to music, language to customs, we explore what it means to straddle 2 cultures and find a sense of belonging in both. Whether you're a first-time generation Caribbean American, a seasoned veteran, or simply curious about the rich tapestries of cultures that make up the Caribbean diaspora, this podcast is for you. We are your hosts, Lisa, the Dominica Diva.
Bertide, the Haitian sensation.
No one's talking, so let's get unfiltered.
Welcome back, the Lyman crew, for another week of conversation.
Yes.
This week, we are discussing work warriors.
Yes.
What's a work warrior?
That could mean so many things.
Yeah, I know.
It could be like a work warrior.
Yeah.
Which, so what does that mean to you guys? Please let us know.
Work.
Exactly. That's why I was going to go. It could be that too. In the Caribbean, look at here now. Fete is a lot of work.
Listen.
So, hey.
Yes.
Y'all
Yes.
can put it in whatever content. But we're talking about the clean content of work warriors, okay? Again.
Clean. There was a dirty?
Rihanna work wasn't a dirty work.
Oh, you thought she was referring to she was working like work. That ain't work. That's pleasure. I didn't.
Some people that are on the pole could say different.
She was on a pole?
I'm just saying, people that work on the pole, that's work, right? It work.
Yeah, it is work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes your boss at work be working, you piling it up, but make you feel like you on a pole too. I'm just saying.
Let's get back on track. We're talking about not that type of Rihanna work. We're talking about the entrepreneur work from a Caribbean cultural background, from a woman perspective. Disclaimer again. It involves everyone, but again, we're talking about our own perspective. And also, like, how does the work ethic of our parents and their parents has translated to when they came to America to now us? This is more of we all know Caribbean folks, and I know that's a generalized statement, not all, but for the most part, are very hardworking individuals. They come here with the mindset. Like, ultimately, that's the mindset that they come to this country with, is that they're going to work. There's opportunities for them to work that they particularly may not have in their country. And like I will use Haiti, for example. When the country's in turmoil, it is hard to be able to sustain certain jobs, especially for the women, because in Haiti, a lot of the women are selling stuff on the street, so they're called marchandises. They're standing there. So when the country's in disarray, guess what? They're not able to go do their livelihood. So when they come to America, they're able to maybe have a safety net to be able to know they could go to work consistent basis, be able to provide for their family, unless there's an epidemic like COVID that happens that shuts down the whole country. But for the most part, we're able to go to work, do these things. So how are the skills that they brought from back home with the mindset of being worker has contributed to their work ethics in America? Because in every group that comes to a country, you bring certain things with you. And I think it's sometimes taboo or cliche for people to say, oh, these immigrants are taking over the country and they're not contributing and they're just taking our jobs and they just wah, 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 wah. Let me tell y'all, stop. When I hear that, it just annoys me, because I'm like, if the jobs were not there for them to take it, they wouldn't have taken it. And if y'all wanted the jobs, y'all would have been at the job that you talking about. Oh, they're taking a job. Where your ass been that they're taking these jobs? Because they did the same thing, the same opportunity that you got. to get up.
Yep.
And mind you, let's talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, please do. Talk about it.
I'm
Please
going
do.
the other way. You speak English. You've been in this country for how many umpteen years? You know how the system works. These people are immigrants coming. Half the time they don't speak your English, but they're able to get their ass up, go fill out an application, be nice and courteous, show up on time every day. When they get the paycheck, still continue to show up to work to feed their family. They don't give the boss a hard time. They do the work. They don't bring drama. They don't bring a lot of extra stuff. And we got problems. But nevertheless, I'm sorry, this is my little starter because sometimes there's just certain stuff that I just gotta.
But everything you said is correct. You said is correct because therefore, say for example, just like you said, if all of these jobs were filled by Americans, the immigrants wouldn't come here because when they come here, there'll be no jobs.
Correct.
So
y'all want to stay in the hot sun like the farmers. Y'all want to stay in the hot sun and picking up fruits and strawberries and blueberries and gray berries for 8 hours, 10 hours a day?
Not gray berries. Yeah.
Gray berries.
Not the gray berries. Y'all didn't see the gray berries?
Apples.
Girl, there's gray berries
y'all want to go pick all these things up? Do you want to? Because the thing is, it's available to you.
They don't want to do it.
It's available to you to do that. So please, out of the ignorance, mouth from your words to your ears, listen to what you're saying. They're not taking stuff that is not theirs. They're not taking it from you because the opportunity is here. That's what America is. It's the land of opportunity. So if there's an opportunity that is there that nobody else is lining up to get, tell me how I'm taking it.
They did say America is land of opportunity.
What they say, you don't miss your water till you run dry. Y'all didn't think about these jobs or nothing. And mind you, even when these immigrants leave the jobs, y'all not running to these jobs. Even afterwards. Because in the day that we are in now in this podcast, the farmers are complaining.
Yep.
Y'all ain't running. So they're deporting them. So let's talk about this. You complaining, they're taking these jobs. But now the one we got sitting here is deporting them by the masses. And they're running, right? So now they're no longer there.
So what about also too, all the rich people who are getting their houses built, right? If you're getting your house built, it's a lot of immigrants that are the builders that are working on those houses. So now that they're not coming to the work sites anymore because they're afraid that somebody by the name of ICE is going to come through so they don't go to work. So guess what? These houses aren't, so all the rich people, your houses are not going to get built. Instead of a 3-month build, now it might be a year.
So again, these individuals, and you make a great point. They're building the house. They're picking up the vegetables and the fruits. They are babysitting your kids. They're cleaning houses. They're working in hospitality. They're working in transportation. They are working in all type of sectors. If we are starting out from that. And then now you come where now they have us, first generation. Now that we've gone to school, now that we have an education, we are in managerial position. We are in, like Lisa said, directorial position. We are now in a spectrum of STEM research and nurse and hospitals and all that. So imagine from our generation now, we have our children. What do you think our children are going to do? What are our children? Now we're transferring from this skill to this skill. So now our children are now going to own some shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because our grandparents came from, our children are not going to take up space because now guess what? The skill that our great grandfathers have now acquired and passed down to us, all we're doing is adding on to it. So don't be saying that, immigrants, Caribbean folks, they're coming over here, whatever island, and they're not bringing skills. They're bringing a lot of skills to this. They're bringing cognitive skills. They're bringing entrepreneur skills. They're all these Caribbean restaurants, y'all like eating that.
Yep.
What skill is that?
But it's all nationalities, right? It's all nationalities. It's Caribbean, it's Indian, right? It's Italian, it's whatever. It's all of those skills. They bring up like Italians, all those recipes are from grandma kitchen. Same thing with the Caribbean restaurants. It's from grandma and grandpa from the kitchen. They doing it at home and now they're going to bring it to you in a restaurant. So you saying that what skills, because that is the thing we were talking about too, is that skills, right? The things that we bring from other countries. These are all the skills you don't want.
Here's another skill. Let's talk about this skill. We bring our linguistic skill. So I know I can speak for myself. I speak Creole and French and English. So if you only speak English, no disrespect, don't fucking step to me because I could cuss you out in 3 different languages. And if you want to add a little bit of Spanish, I could probably figure it out. So respect people that they come into a country speaking another language. Now they're passing on that skill because you got to learn. If you don't know English, you got to learn. So that's a mindset to be able to learn a different language. You go to school, you got to acclimate, learn a new language, which a lot of us don't. Look at here now. And you're bringing that skill because some of those jobs that you have on the phone and people are like, oh, you must speak Spanish, you must speak French. If these people are not coming here with that skill, how are they able to train? Because these you need them for these corporations to be able to succeed. The world is multicultural. We need all
can't get away from it.
We need all the skills. So if they don't have people that speak these different languages from these different countries and stuff like that, where y'all getting that? That's another skill. Y'all didn't know that? To be able to like think in multiple languages, that's a skill. Look at here. Don't play with people when they are able to do some stuff that you can't do. Be mindful of all those skills. And the best one that Lisa said, us as first generation, being able to assimilate between both. Like the whole point of this podcast that we've been talking about, how we're able to go to school with y'all, adapt to y'all, but then at the same time be able to be like a chameleon in the community. That's a skill set, baby. Let me tell you, look, I go into my Caribbean self and then I'm able to switch it up. You want my professional self? I give you my professional. And then
code switch.
Look, that's a skill set. Don't play. Yep. Don't play with people. Like, I'm just telling you that. But on another word, when you have those skills, and I go back to the language, when you have people that come from different countries and they go into certain sectors such as nursing, right? Such as hospitals, right? Such as education, right? Those people's skill, because I saw in Instagram that says, when you meet somebody that can speak your language in those sectors and they look like you, there's a sense of comfort. So just like Caucasian folks, y'all feel very happy when y'all see your own or whatever. It's the same thing with a different Caribbean or ethnicity. When you go to a hospital and somebody, you may not be able to fully understand what they're saying, and that person brings that skill to be able to translate for you, explain what the doctor says, all of that. And the educational aspect, when you have a teacher that's able to understand your background, your home life, understand that, oh, your parents are Caribbean. Okay, like when you have that contributes to the success of your community, of that child, of the home, of the family. There's so many domino effects to that y'all just think, oh, but the school is also being blessed to be able to be successful because they're helping those students, and the nurse in the hospital is also able to get higher standard and grading because they're able to, because of that person bringing that skill that you don't have to the hospital of able to speak a different language or whatever. That helps them be successful. That helps them attract those kind of patients. That helps them in so many different avenues because you're like, oh, you speak. You know how many times in my job when somebody speaks Creole, a friend, who do you think that they come to first? Oh, say it again. Say it again for the people in the back. Thank you. It's called being an asset. It's called rate of return on investment. You hired me. Now you have a rate of return on your investment because I'm able to attract certain skill sets, certain people to your company that if you have, and not even that, there's been several events that I've had because I speak the language that I have, that I've been able to book and bring revenue to your property, to your company because of the language that I speak.
Say it again. Should be extra bonuses dropped around here, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Change. So, people, the skills. I know that we're putting it all together, jumbled up, but understand every person that is of a different ethnicity, they have a certain skill that when they come here, their parents or first generation or whatever, they are skills that they bring to the community. There are skills that they bring to the jobs. There are skills that they bring to your company, to your assets, to, and I'm sure there are some that bring bad skills. I'm not ignoring that. We're not saying that there's some that don't bring bad skills, but for the most part,
there's bad apples everywhere.
Right.
There's bad apples everywhere.
But for the most part, let's talk about those wonderful skills that they bring. Let's talk about the wonderful multicultural diversity that they bring. Because y'all like eating those food.
Talk about it. And then, you know what also I want to add on? I'm going to say in the medical field, there's a lot of doctors that have gotten their degrees in their country, and then they come here, and this is where I feel like it's a racket. They make them go back to school.
Oh, yeah.
For here. It's a whole nother other conversation. But either way, they make them go to school here and they work here in the hospitals. But the fact that they studied and practiced in another country and they come here, they're able to share their knowledge on things that maybe we haven't seen in America yet, that they have seen in other countries. And maybe there's different ways of healing people, getting the cures to the diseases that maybe wasn't, they study it, they did the research over there, and they could bring that here. And then you're an additional asset to the hospital and the community here. There's so many things, like, it's not only the doctors, it's also, you know what? Speaking of which, I don't mean to switch the subject real quick. Even when I went to United Emirates, right? And you see online the beautiful pictures, the buildings, right? The architects, the designs are so gorgeous with these buildings. And I had a conversation with a gentleman over there, and I said, wow, we don't have buildings like this here in the US. Our buildings are just straight up. There's nothing fancy about it. And they actually told me there's a lot of architects that are from the US that go there because they don't have the freedom to be creative as they do in America. So then it goes the
opposite. It goes the opposite.
I had to bring that up.
I have to agree with you. You have to be open to people work ethics because, like how you said, in a different country, they may see certain like diseases and certain things that affect that community, and then it's brought over here. So the technology and the research that they're able to contribute, I completely agree with you. And again, I don't want to keep bringing up COVID, but COVID was a great example of how many different doctors from all over the country that were searching for a cure, and they needed to work together to find. So if you don't have all these different nationalities and cultures speaking to each other to try for a common goal, I think it gets lost in translation because the human race is not evolving in a way. So I do believe that you need, if it happened over there and they're seeing this effect and this is okay coming together because they have different skills based on their culture, based on where they're from, based on what they're seeing, to be able to talk and say, okay, what are the commonalities? What are the differences? How can we make this work? So I think people should be able to accept all different kind of skill sets, all different kind of cultures, what they bring that is positive, because they do bring positivity to where they work, their community, their environment, and things like that. So I do agree. And even if you think about what is the other sector, so we have STEM research. What are different sectors? Science, right? Technology and all of that, with us first generation, but also the next generation, they're going into that. So that's what I said. Every generation evolved. So our parents, when they were here, they may have done more domestic work and stuff like that. But then us as the first generation, we took that baton, and now we're in a different level of what that is, right? So now we're not outside looking in, we're inside, right? And we might be on the first level, which is fine. But then now our kids are able to take the elevators to the next floors. So we got to remember those things are significant to whatever they bring, and just be able to embrace the work ethic. And one thing that I do know for a fact about a lot of cultural different background people is when they come here, like I mentioned before, they come here with the mindset of putting their head down and working. So that's where that work warrior comes, because a lot of times I feel when Haitian people, we've changed that as first generation, but I know like my mom's generation and the ones before, when they came to this country, they were really work warrior. They were like working a couple of jobs. They didn't have maybe they did, they scheduled it, but the work-life balance, like how we have it, they were here like, yo, this is an opportunity. This is available to me. Oh, I'm just going to work until whatever. And there will be times where like, you got to enjoy life too, right?
They enjoy, because that was the fete every weekend. That was their... After the work, 2 jobs, the fete, that was their... What is it? That's their self-care.
Yes. The work-life balance. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That was their fete.
Yeah.
That was that. But I was going to say something else too. I forgot what I was going to say. But them bringing... But the thing is, we also have to maintain the culture in all of this too. That even though we're working hard, and that's what I was going to say. Jamaicans also have the stereotypical of having 10 jobs. I remember that growing up. It was like, oh, you're Jamaican, you got 10 jobs.
Haitians too.
And Haitians, listen, and there is no shortage and no problem of working. Nobody has a problem working, especially in our culture. That passing that down to the next generation, our first generation. If you go to the workplace, you notice also too, if you look around, our work ethic is than our peers.
And now I will add on to that, and it's no disrespect, because I do, again, it's our podcast, so disclaimer, if you're listening, at your own risk. I always say that. It's my opinion. You come from me, I'm going to ignore you.
Listen at your own risk.
Listen at your own risk, because it is what it is. But there's also times there's a high percentage. Okay, and I'm going to put it this way. Why do you think, like Lisa's example of the houses and construction that are being built, the people that own the company are going, because normally they're going to find these immigrants, right? They're going, so they're the ones seeking them to do the work, right? Because one, we know sometimes it is a little bit cheap labor, but they're able. But the number one reason, if you ask a lot of these farmers, corporation, why they hire these people, is because they're gonna do the work. They're not gonna complain. They're gonna show up and do it in a less fraction of time, where it's just like they're gonna work their little tail off, the little 8-10 hours that they need to work to get the work done, to move on, to make the money. Same thing with in hospitality. Why do you think a lot of your housekeepers are different nationalities and there's not? Because they're going to come in, they're going to do the work. And a lot of times companies they're like hiring immigrants because they know the work is going to get done. And a lot of times they save on labor, but they know that the work gets done in an amount of time where they're not going to hear complaints. When you talk to them, they're going to be high. And it could be half the time because they're not understanding what you're saying. So they're just like, yeah, and they just move on. But the attitude is a little bit different. So you guys got to consider all of that. These immigrants that are coming is because the door is being also open to them to say, hey, so those corporation and companies, construction and all that, seek them out. Because they're like, oh, we know you're going to do the work, and I don't got to put up with your mouth, or I don't got to put up with you wanting a bunch of days off. And when you get your paycheck, they going to, so let's be very clear about that. They're seeking them for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm just, is it right or wrong? I don't know. I'm not a politician. I can't tell you, but I'm saying if the work is there, These people seek them because they bring skills, they bring decorum, they bring an attitude of work warrior. I'm gonna make my money to support my family, do what I gotta do. That's that they bring to the table.
Yeah.
They know, hey, you want to work? Yes, I want to work. Yeah. Doesn't matter what it costs them. They're going to work because they know they have an ultimate goal. That's the thing too. They set goals for themselves, these individuals.
They do. They send a lot of times they collect their money, they save their money, they have the whole family living in one house, they send their money back home, they build their cash back home. They're huge family. Yeah. Their goal is not to stay here. They make their money, they keep their heads down, and they go back.
Or even if the goal is to, even if the goal is for them to have roots here, they help each other. So like you said, they might have one house, then they help the next person get their house, then they help this next person get their house. So they work together to be able to make it work for their community, for their families, for their environment. But that still helps us and what they bring to America. Because the thing is, when they take it so seriously that their house, probably their bills are going to be paid on time, their house is not going to go in foreclosure because they understand they've worked hard for it and they've earned these things. And then not only that, they want better for their children. So they invest time because they want the skills of them working with their hands, hard labor, for their kids now to be able to open the door to managerial position. Like I said, they want their kids to own the construction company. They want their kids to be going into the more managerial position. That's what their goal is. And then further along, for their kids to own the business, to do things for themselves. So there's a lot that goes into the mindset of work warriors, cultural Caribbean people, whoever ethnicity, that it's just not, oh, they're taking our job. No, they work because they have set goals, plans in place to help themselves, their family, and their loved ones. Go ahead.
So. And you know what the reality is? They probably could take a page out of their book.
Lisa said it, I didn't.
Just saying. But just remember, the things that we're talking about today, D-Lyman crew, is that take care of your family, save your money, work hard, set your plans in place, set your goals. It's not going to be easy, but it can get done.
Caribbean people are resilient at the end of the day. And then the little girls that are out there that are struggling back home, like in Haiti, we have to be able to provide them with mentorship and support because they have talents that they need to display to the culture, to the environment. That's another part too, is investing and just not looking at it as a downfall, but investing of what those young Caribbean children are bringing, what skills they're bringing, what even the adults, but what skills they're bringing that's going to be a positive, and given them an opportunity to be able to flourish to the best of their ability, because you don't know where the great minds are. It's not all in one race. It's all different. So we have to be able to, as women too, afford, like, because I know that's one thing with Haiti, is like when the country's in unrest, schools are closed. That's the part too of we need to do better. We need to do better in making sure that they're providing the resources, the tools, the education, and the skill set and the trade or whatever they need to be able to flourish, so that they're able to either, if they are learning a skill, that if it translates to America, that's great. But if they bring that skill back to their home country, because y'all want them to go back to their home country so much, when they go back, they take that skill with them, and it needs to be an opportunity for them to use that skill back home. Mentorship, whatever it is, so that way.
And that's where they learned it back home. So that's all the strength that we talk about. And just to recap on some of the things that we talked about today, is the strength in small beginnings, starting off small and then you grow big. There's strength in that, so we can't forget about that. Resilience in the face of the nation's fury. So despite what's going on in other countries, despite what's going on in this, just having the strength to go through. We didn't touch on that. A lot of times these skills and the immigrants, they come from other countries because there is unrest in their countries. The strength in that and its resilience in the face to still keep pushing forward and knowing to take care of their future, their family, have a better future, exporting their skills and talent that we talked about. Americans could take a page out of their book, right? They're bringing it over here, so exporting that. And then the entrepreneurial spirit that even though maybe they're knocking on doors and not getting the jobs that they want, becoming the entrepreneur, finding a way to sell products. Not only is there markets back in Dominica and Haiti, there's also here too in the where people bring their things, honey, bees at home, whatever thing that they make at home and bring it and sell it. It's still bringing that skill from their country being here and having that entrepreneurial spirit that maybe they can't, those doors are closed, they're doing it on themselves, right?
Haiti, we
Those
call that
entrepreneurs back home.
marchandises, marchand. The marchand or the
go.
people selling the stuff, marchandise is the thing. So my marchand, y'all keep going, keep pushing through.
Balancing the traditions and being modern America in the workplace and at home, right? So just balancing those two things, staying true to who you are, but also working in an American environment in the workplace as well. So those are some of the things that we touched on today. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we jump into our tips?
I think you covered it all, but we would love to know what you guys' skills or values from Caribbean, all my Caribbean heritage people have contributed most to your professional success. We'd love to hear that. I'm curious to know if you sat down and thought about those skills that your parents or grandparents translated to you and that you have translated. We would love to hear that. So we're gonna go into our tips.
All righty, and our tips for today
is leverage your cultural strength. Like we mentioned, your unique perspective and work ethic are valuable assets. Not but assets, people. You gotta do it too. At least I'll be looking serious and I have to say something to throw her off. But yes, your assets, people, not your ass. But yes, we always talk about you bring in, don't listen to the outside noise and work on that to be able to elevate yourself, elevate your children, elevate your family, and keep that spirit. Build a strong professional network, connect with mentors and peers who can support your growth. And we touched about that. So there are communities out there, there are people, if you don't speak the language, that are going to be able to be like-minded like you are. So maybe that's one thing that I would say with our first generation, with our parents, I guess I would say is that when you come here, even though yes, it's great to stay within your own family bubble, but reach out to outsiders to maybe help us become a little bit more invested in building businesses that have, what would I say, businesses that can give back, right? To not only back home, but here. Maybe being a little bit more united and putting people in place in the political world in your local community so that way we are able to get more money back or more laws that affect our livelihood. So I would say when you come here, don't be afraid because you don't speak the language. Seek out those professional mentors and seek out those professionals so you are involved in the community to be able to have real change and effect in the people we place in office and the people that are in the banks, the investment world, all those things that actually we need for our children, like keeping our monies to ourselves or dollars to ourselves. So I would say reach out because those outlets are out there. So we need to, I feel, on our end, be a little bit better of networking with those kind of things and putting ourselves out there to do that. And then the last one is embrace lifelong learning. Stay adaptable and continuously develop your skills to stay ahead. So yes, take your skill, continue to evolve, continue to pass it down to your children, continue to stay educated if you can, continue to just in everything that you have. If you're able to learn a new skill, yes, you have a skill, but if you're able to learn a new skill and adapt to another skill, please do so because it all helps. We all should not stay, stagnant. Right. We should all evolve and we should definitely do that. And that's our tips for today. So thank you for listening and continue to be wonderful work warriors because at the end of the day, if you don't work, what did you say? Closed out, don't get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed. That is correct.
So if you don't work, you don't eat. I think that's a Bible thing too. If a man don't work, he don't eat.
There you go.
That's peace.
There you go. Peace.
Peace.
My people. Work.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Unfiltered Lyman podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insight. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you can catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh, exciting content. And if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss or a story you'd like to share, please reach out to us via our website. Join us again next Thursday for another unfiltered conversation about the rich diversity and complexity of the Caribbean American experience. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating the unique cultural heritage that makes us who we are. Unfiltered Lyman is edited and produced by Unfiltered Lyman.